Hello everyone, nubkeks here. Welcome back to Nub Raids. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about the 10 times event we have coming up this weekend. Looks to be really focused on unkillable teams with block damage on clan boss, Demon Lord clan boss, and then also like some of the best champions in the entire game for non-unkillable clan boss teams in general, on top of just some insane champions, just generally speaking. Let's dive straight in though, and we're going to be ranking these champions. And that's kind of how I like to do my 10 times videos, is giving you my ranking on how much I actually value that champion. The first champion we want to talk about, I think he still has, I think it's the most watched video on my channel of all time. It's Geomancer. And do we need to tell you, it's not just S tier, he's S tier. This guy is one of the best, if not the best epic in the game. Like, he's on another level. I'd say he's better than half the legendaries. He's better than half the void legendaries. Geomancer, he is nuts. You guys, if you've watched my channel before, you know what he can do. Hydra, he's obviously like the easiest entry point damage dealer that carries all the way up into Nightmare to get you through Hydra, reducing your damage taken by 15%, deflecting that on, proccing max HP damage, giving you burns. He can steal buffs, AoE decrease accuracy. The guy's got it all. He even has a HP in all battles aura. He's obviously insane as well for a traditional Demon Lord. He's insane against a lot of the Doom Tower bosses. I have some videos on that as well, like Eternal Dragon. What else? Like Nether Spider. He's exceptionally good against Nether Spider. All that sort of stuff. Geomancer, honestly, people are probably going to pull in this event for Geomancer alone. And then in terms of the regular epics, Venomage is the other one. Venomage, I think, is probably also S tier. I think Venomage is definitely not as good as Geo, but still really, really good. Venomage is better in your non-unkillable clan boss Demon Lord teams, as far as I know. But she's also really good at dungeons and even some Doom Tower stuff. She's going to be very good against Ice Golem. She's going to be very good against Dragon. She gives you damage reduction, or enemies do less damage, 15% when they've heal reduction on. Amazing. She has an AoE attack with heal reduction and poison. That's giving you that AoE damage reduction. It's giving you that poison. Fantastic. Then decrease defense, decrease attack, single target if they're poisoned. Her A1, decreasing max HP, activating poisons. Yeah, she's a bit of a solo queen. Really just generally amazing everywhere, to help you everywhere in your account. I'd say your yeah, Ice Golem, Dragon Dungeons, traditional Demon Lord, lots of the Doom Tower bosses. She's part of the speed farm teams, by the way, for Nether Spider, because she can do the AoE heal reduction, which stops Nether Spider from healing. So yeah, she does so many things. I think that she's very good. I've not used her too much in depth myself, but she's well worth doing. And also worth noting that in terms of your missions, by the way, right, if you're doing your missions for Romantu, the easiest Doom Tower Rotation 1 is the easiest way to get the all 12 hard secret rooms in one Doom Tower rotation mission done. That's by far the easiest one. The hardest room in there is probably the epic only Lizardman faction. That's quite tough. Venomage can solo that. There you go. Venomage solos it, which is very, very helpful. Now, when we come to the Void epics, we've got two, and yes, indeed, Demytha. Demytha, arguably, I mean, is she the new man-eater? Pretty much. So Demytha obviously opens up all of like the myth eater, the Fu myth, whatever, all of those different unkillable Demon Lord teams. And guys, if you're looking to build up any unkillable Demon Lord teams, if you get any of these champions this weekend, definitely follow Deadwood Jedi. Check out Deadwood Jedi's website to see how they fit together, the speed tunes that you need. It's very specific, and he has all the info. He's got it there. He has it done. He's done the research. He's done the work. Follow his guides. Demytha, she's insane. Block damage for 1 turn on a 3-turn cooldown. This opens up so many unkillable clan boss teams. She is insane. Now, the one big downside of Demytha teams compared to man-eater teams are that you need a lot of speed, right? Speed requirements are very, very high. So just bear that in mind if you're a newer player. It might be a while before you can actually get your team up and running. You might not have the speed gear quite yet. It'll take you a little while. But when you do, she makes the best unkillable teams. Like, the best unkillable teams are using Demytha. As you guys know, I'm going to actually be doing I've been preparing a guide on her just randomly, completely unrelated to this 10 times, but I use Demytha a lot, but I don't use her built for unkillable. I think she's god tier in all other sorts of ways. Again, I used her in Hydra as well. You have to be careful, but if you've got a good Mischief tank, if you've got good Mischief control, the amount of healing she provides is insane. I think she probably outheals a Withier. Like, I think she's nuts. I think she's absolutely nuts. Her A2 extending buffs. This sounds like it doesn't do many heals, but it really does. If you've got, it basically takes how many buffs and debuffs are on your entire team and gives an extra 2.5% heal. So if you have like, if you have 4 buffs on 5 champions, that's 4 times 2.5. That's what? That's 10% times 5 champions. That's 50%. She's going to do a 50% max HP heal with 4 buffs. If they 4 debuffs on them as well, like the Blighthead and Hydra just put poisons on everyone, she's going to fully heal everyone, like literally 100% to 0 to 100% heal, well, 1% to 100% heal, and then obviously increasing your buffs, decreasing your debuffs. She's nuts. She's absolutely insane. I think she's super good. I would give her S. In fact, more than S, I give her triple S. We've got a weird ranking system here today. Maybe I need to revisit my ranking system. Warcaster. Okay, here we go. I'd give Warcaster a B. There we go. The ranking system is sort of back on track. Warcaster is by far the weakest of this set of epics, but he does have some niche uses, right? Block damage on a 4-turn cooldown. So it's just, you can see the comparison with Demytha. He's so much worse in that sense, but this is still very useful. And again, go to Deadwood Jedi, where you can see lots of setups for specific unkillable teams built around this, specific speed tunes that you can get working. He's worse, but that's okay. He still works in specific setups, and that's really valuable. Getting an unkillable team going is so good for your Demon Lord clan boss. He also has an AoE block buff, so it's not super reliable, but there you go. He's a Void Affinity AoE block buff champion. That could be very helpful for you getting into Hydra, and he can even steal buffs on his A1. So I think he definitely has potential there to fill in for some Hydra stuff as well. Like I said, he's only a B. You know, like Umbral Enchantress is just way better at doing this. Demytha is just way better at doing this. So there's a bunch of downsides, but he's not bad. He's okay. He's a champion that, depending on your account, you would either rush out to build as soon as possible, or if you got the better versions, you would be like, what's the point? I'm not going to build him. Right, next up then. These are the 3 legendaries, guys. What do we think? Underpriest Brogni, Martyr, and Roshkar the Tower. So Underpriest Brogni, he's easily one of the top 10 legendaries in the game, just in general. Brogni is insane. When I got Brogni on my account, it opened up so much for me to do. You guys know what Brogni can do. I mean, basically, he's giving you a huge shield, block debuffs, increase attack. He reflects damage that goes onto the shield. He heals people based on damage taken by the shield. This can trigger the Giant Slayer mastery. He can make the shield bigger, so you build him with, give him like base attack rings. He's insane attack multipliers with terrible base attack. So percentage attack, not very good, but give him flat attack. He can hit really hard, and actually the shield can get really big. He can make the shields really big. That's part of the world record Demon Lord clan boss teams. He can burn on his A1. He can do it all. So he is just superb for obviously your classical Demon Lord. He's insane against most of Doom Tower. He makes Doom Tower so much easier, right? If you give him high speed, well, not even that high, you get him above like 250, so he can outspeed most of those waves. When you get this big old shield on you and block debuffs, and you reflect it, it's like, what can the enemy do? Most waves in Doom Tower, you've beaten them. You're done. Congrats. Which is really, really cool. He also has resist for Doom Tower. So Brogni, he's just amazing. He's great in Arena as well. Yeah, super champion. Super. Arguably the best fusion they ever did. So yeah, S tier. Martyr. Martyr's intriguing. Martyr is intriguing. So Martyr, she's one of the OG OP heroes. She sort of fell off a bit. I actually think there's a lot to say for Martyr. There's a lot to say. I actually think it's probably fair to give her probably an S tier rating. I do think she still deserves it. I think on the lower end, but I really think she's up there. What's pushing her up there for me at the moment is I think she has absolutely insane potential in Hydra. Really, really good potential in Hydra. What does she do? She is one of your counterattack champions, right? Increased defense and counterattack on a 3-turn cooldown for the whole team. Yes, please. She can put decrease attack A1, AoE decrease attack, A3. This also does provoke. So, you know, for progressing in dungeons, in Doom Tower, for any sort of progression content, she is just unbelievably good. She's unbelievably good. She has insane base stats as well. And she's going to do really good damage too. She does it all. She's going to help you everywhere in the game. For classic Demon Lord teams, she's obviously incredible. You know, decreased defense, decreased attack, increased defense, counter attack. What more is there to say? She has all of those key buffs for your traditional Demon Lord team. She sort of fell off in some of the end game stuff, like Valkyrie goes better with Brogni, for example, in like the world record teams. But I think for Hydra, when you bring in like Brogni, your shields are going to get broken anyway. So I don't know. I don't know if Valkyrie is as useful compared to bringing in Martyr. If you can bring in a Mischief tank, which is a concept I've been exploring and will be exploring more on the channel recently, you bring a Mischief tank in so your buffs don't get stolen. Suddenly that counterattack buff for Hydra is insane. With an AoE decreased attack, placing decreased defense with counterattack, I think she's got huge potential defense in all battles. I actually really want a Martyr myself. I think she's super good. And then we've got Roshkar the Tower. I'd give him an A. I think I would give him an A. He's in Sacred Order. Roshkar, I just pulled him recently, and I do hope to build him sometime as well. His signature move is this: block damage for 2 turns on a 4-turn cooldown. So he is like the key to... In fact, let's give him an S. I think he actually probably... I don't know. Let's leave him an A. Let's leave him... It's kind of tough to say. I don't know. Am I being unfair? I guess the hardest part about Roshkar, he obviously opens up all those unkillable teams as well. I guess the hardest part is actually getting the guy. I think getting him is kind of tricky. But you do get him. He opens up unkillable teams for that clan boss as well, which is just super, super good. He's got an interesting A2, mostly for arena. Block active skills, block buffs, can't be resisted. Kind of nice for arena. He's really good in mid-game arena. Can be very difficult for people to deal with. And he can remove buffs on his A1. Again, I do think, you know what? I think I am being unfair. I think I'm being unfair to him. I'm going to give him an S ranking as well. I think he deserves it. I think Demon Lord clan boss. I think for Hydra, block damage for 2 turns, 4-turn cooldown. There's potential there with block buffs. I think there's potential there. Removing buffs. Yeah, I think there's actually tons of potential with this guy. He's obviously one of the more uncommon ones because we all know how tough it can be when you start off to get your Man-Eater, to get your Demytha, and get an unkillable team going. Well, they're probably easier to get than a specific legendary. But if you do get him, he's superb. So I'm going to try... I have him, guys. I have him. I will try to get you some Roshkar content soon-ish. It might take me a while, but I'll try to get there. I'll probably... hopefully I'll be able to build him before you can build him if you pull him this weekend. We'll see. But yeah, I'd probably give him an S. And then finally, we have, in the same faction, Sir Nicholas, who I think also deserves like an S as well. Yeah, you know what? I think in terms of keeping things consistent, we probably should do like S for Geomancer, A here, S for her, B, S, and then maybe these 3 be A's in terms of being consistent instead of like multiple S's. But whatever, you get the gist. Sir Nicholas, what does he do? The main thing he does, in my opinion, is really opening up those unkillable teams as well. Unkillable buff for 2 turns with continuous heal for 2 turns on a 4-turn cooldown. He can do an AoE hit, gives you a big shield, not bad, and then his A1 can freeze. I would say the main uses for me for Sir Nicholas, I do think he's a bit overrated, for sure. Like, he's a Void Legendary and he's great, but he's certainly not as good. Like, you wouldn't be as happy to pull him as you would with like a Krisk or a Sifi, Leorius, any of those ones, you know? The thing I think he obviously helps you with early Spider, but that's not so big of a deal. The big thing is unkillable Demon Lord teams. He opens up those. I think he's very good against the Mortu Macabre waves, which are for a lot of people the hardest waves in Doom Tower, right? Doom Tower hard, giving you unkillable, giving you those freezes, protecting you from Mortu Macabre, who's a nightmare in hard Doom Tower. Very good for that. He might be decent for some Hydra stuff, but obviously there's no freeze in Hydra yet. If they ever add a freeze head in, he could be good, you know, giving you a shield, giving you a freeze, lots of healing, unkillable. If you prevent those being stolen, it's not too bad. Even if they do get stolen, it's not the worst thing, right? So yeah, I think Sir Nicholas, I think he's got potential. I probably, I don't know. It's tough to say. I do think that it's one of those questions. It's the question of, with Roshkar, with Sir Nicholas, I guess I was a bit unfair to Warcaster in that sense in terms of consistency here. The question is, do you need them to open up an unkillable clan boss team? And if you need them for that unkillable clan boss team, they're S. If you don't need them for unkillable clan boss, these guys probably go down to like A. They're useful. You will build them and you might use them somewhere, but you're not going to use them all the time. Whereas Brogni, you're going to be using constantly. Same thing with Geomancer, Demytha. Yeah, so it's sort of up to you. So it's a bit of a tough one to rank. I will probably say I will settle with this. I find, like I said, this one was a difficult one to rank because it's very specific to your particular needs. Let me know what you think, though. I will end, of course, as always, though, with 10 times events. I've obviously done lots of videos on 10 times events before. If you're going for the legendaries, you really need to be tracking your mercy timer. You want to have your best chance possible to hit a legendary. And of course, when you do hit a legendary, your chance to actually pull them is probably reasonably low. Rough ballpark, somewhat like if you get a legendary, there's like a 10% chance that you get the one that you want. It's not quite that. I did a whole video on it if you want specific breakdowns, specific stats. But it's a pretty low chance to get them. Getting the epics is much more doable, especially if you pull sacreds for it, right? You're going to pull so many epics, you'll get them. So it's up to you. But yeah, we've got really good champions. Let me know what you think. Thank you for watching, and I will see you all next time, guys. Bye-bye.